Welcome to Stayf Draws. I'm Stayf, an illustrator and animator, and in this video I'm going to make an illustration of Mary Blair using a split complementary color scheme. So let's get to the video. In this video I'm going to make an illustration in the style of Mary Blair, and I already did a video review about two books, and this is the first book and this was the first print. The second print has a different cover. I found an image and it's not in this book, but she also did all of the inspirational sketches for Alice in Wonderland. And here you can see the scene with the Queen of Hearts, and it uses a very interesting color scheme. And I'm going to use this color scheme in the painting I'm going to do of Mary Blair. And I'm just going to import it into Procreate. And I found this image on Google. So if you Google her name, you can find a lot of great images. And this is a split complementary color scheme. And I'm just going to explain what that means. Here you have the color wheel, and these are all your colors you can use in Procreate. And a complementary color scheme is a color scheme you use if you have this color selected, which is yellow. Then a complementary color would be the opposite color. So this is a complementary color, and a split complementary color is different. So I'm going to select this color. It's a bit of a aqua blue, and these are all the values you can use. So I'm going to select the brightest color, and a split complementary color is not the opposite, so it's not this color, but it splits into two different tones. So it's going to split up here, and then you have the color red, which is this color, and I'm going to select this. This is the main color, and there's also another color in this image, because it's going to split up here and it's going to split up here. So these are the three colors that are used in this image. And you may wonder, well, this is a kind of pink tone, and the color of a dress is also different. But you can, when you select the red, you can use all the hues in that color scheme. So you can also use pink. That's a value from the red. Here's the sketch, and what I'm now going to do is make outline of this sketch, and it's not going to be perfect, and I'm first going to do the foreground of the illustration with Mary Blair, and then the background. And this is going to take a while, so I'm just going to make a time lapse of it. I'm now finished with the outline of the illustration, and it's not about the perfect lines, because I just made them all closed shapes, so I can fill them with color fill. And I'm also going to use the reference layer to fill in the colors. And what I'm now going to do is create a reference layer, and I'm first going to start with the background, because these have the biggest shapes to fill. And you can use a reference layer. When you press on your layer, then you see reference, And when you put another layer underneath the reference layer, you can drop in your colors in a separate layer. You can of course do it on the same layer, but then you still have the outlines, and I don't want the outlines, I just want the shapes. So I'm first going to select the background color, and that's going to be red. So I grab the color in the color selection and drop it into the shape. And there is a color drop threshold you can use, and you just need to swipe it from right to left, and when you swipe it to the left, the threshold is smallest. You just have to tweak it until you get it filled, because here you fill other shapes and you don't want that. You just want to fill this shape. And I'm going to make a time lapse of this because the principle is the same. You just have to drop in the colors in the separate layer. So this is the background, and they're just the flat colors, and later on we're going to do some structures to it, like some dry brush techniques, and make it a little bit more like a gouache painting. Now we're going to the foreground, so I'm going to deselect the background, and I'm just going to do the same thing with this. So create a new layer for the color and press on layer, the layer you want to color, press on reference, and then the color underneath will be the layer you can drop your colors in. So now we're finished with the flat colors. For doing these structures within the shapes, I'm using a mask in Procreate, and I will explain using the masks in Procreate in more detail in the long version of this video, and it's now available on Vimeo on demand, and I'll leave a link in the description box down below. It's a video of 77 minutes, and I'll also will show you how you can work with real gouache on paper and how you can mimic it in Procreate. And now I'm going to do some details to the background. So I'm going to leave this layer selected, because now it's more about blending the fore and background. And first thing I'm going to do is work on the curtains. And the curtains have a certain pattern, and I'm just going to draw them with a yellow. But I'm going to do that on a separate layer. I'll explain why in a second. Don't have to paint it too graphic. Because the harder you press, the more paint it will give. And it's a pattern with, it's a bit like a 50s pattern. And this gives it a little bit more of a painterly feel. So I've now finished this, and what you can do is duplicate your layer, and you have to swipe from right to left and then press on duplicate. Now you have duplicated it, And with the selection tool, you can just move it. Well, it's not doing it. It's both selected. Just select the layer and then you can move it around. And when you set it to freeform, you can also rotate it and scale it up or down. And you can do that again. Then create a nice pattern. Then you don't have to paint it over and over again. I'm going to merge these down, and you can merge your layers by squeezing them together. And now it's just one layer. On Vimeo On Demand you can buy the long version of this video, and it will also include the Procreate file with the line art of this illustration. And I'll also include all the brushes that I used and the swatch palette. I'll leave a link in the description box down below, or you can press on the eye in the upper right corner. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Or subscribe to my channel, in that way you won't miss a single video. Drawing is fun and practice makes perfect. See you next time. Doodles!